Hey everyone, today I want to tell you guys about how I thought I had a good friendship with someone for 8 years and they screwed me over in the end, or tried to screw me over in the end. And I'll get to that and give you the details on exactly what happened. Let's jump into it. For those of you guys who don't know, my name is Brad. Started my own private practice. Last year we did about 4 million gross, and I have 3 locations, opening a 4th location sometime soon. If you listen, people will usually show themselves of what their true colors are or what their true intentions are. And I got a little bit blinded by 8 years of friendship, and this almost burned me bad. And I'm gonna share exactly what the hell happened. Just like I did, there's a friend who's a hospitalist, got burnt out with hospital medicine, has 2 kids, wants to stay at home, and wants to do his own thing in private practice. He wanted to join our private practice rather than working for the big guys, working for corporate medicine, having no say in how things are done, just being a cog in the wheel. So I've been talking to him for the last 6 or 9 months. We even got to the point where we were looking at real estate in the south side of town to open a location just for him. I was going to open everything under our name, and I would just open a location. It would be his baby, meaning that we could put whatever artwork was on the wall. We could figure out how many days after hours does he want to stay instead of doing a 5-day work week. Does he want to do 4 days? Can we do something can we basically get creative to have a very good lifestyle for him, because it wasn't all about salary in his mind. Not everyone wants to be paid a lot of money. Some people want the lifestyle, and that's exactly why they're going into primary care or private practice, is you can choose lots of money, lots of lifestyle. Usually you choose one or the other. Well, the difference is if you become a business owner and scale it, you can actually have both at the same time, but that takes time. Well, this guy, a few weeks ago, for those of you guys who follow me on Twitter already know this, he reached out to me and he said, "Hey, Brad, you did it. I think I can do it myself. I'm just going to go solo and I'm going to rent out the space myself. I'm going to just open my own practice." On one hand, I was a little hurt. I was hurt that I spent all this time courting this doctor to work with me and be my employee and work in a non-corporate medicine, physician-owned, physician-run practice. And for him to back out like that after like 9 months, it kind of hurt me, kind of ticked me off a little bit. But at the same time, I was like, go for it, man. I love entrepreneurial effort. I love that you want to do your own thing. I love what I do. More power to you. Do your own thing and grow the hell out of that private practice. Well, that's not the part that pissed me off. The part that really pissed me off is about a week ago. So 2 weeks after he told me that, one of the doctors who works for me said, "Hey, Brad, I just want to let you know that he called me up, that guy that you were going to hire for south of town." So he told me that he called this other doctor up and told him, "Hey, why don't you quit Brad's group, join me, and let's form our own practice together." And he did that with 2 of the doctors that I employ. I posted on Twitter, I said, "Look, is this just business is business, or bro crossed the line here? Did my friend of 8 years truly try to screw me over?" And overwhelmingly, people voted that that was a low blow. He shouldn't have crossed that line. I thought we were good friends, and we talk literally every other day for basically the last 8 years. I thought we were just the best of friends. And I was just honestly hurt that he would go behind my back and try to poach my employees, that I had to spend so much time, so much effort in recruiting them to join up with me, convince them that we are not a startup, that we're going to be around, that I'm going to grow the hell out of this business. And I tell you what, that really hurt more than I was pissed off. But you know what? Looking back, I really have only myself to blame. I should have known that he is a friend of mine, but the friend was always at a distance. I mean, I never shared money with him. We never did anything else together, taking vacations or whatever together. And I should have known that going into business together, even if he's my employee, is somewhat of a financial relationship that is going on there. It's not a marriage, but there's some sort of relationship that's going on there. What I mean by that is that we never were in business together. We never shared anything financially together. So our friendship was just sharing memes. It was just joking around, bullshitting together, or complaining about certain things. And then when I looked back, I said, you know what? He did back out of buying a new house and switching jobs. And he does seem to switch jobs every year and a half. The other thing is that we have a group of friends, a guy chat. I'm sure you guys have this, but there's a group of like 8 of us in this guy chat. And he's constantly talking crap about the other guys behind their back. No other guy in the group is doing that. And he doesn't really commit very often. Him and his wife were going to sell his house. They got an offer above asking on their house and then decided, actually, we're going to stay here. We're just going to take it off the market. There's a lot of wishy-washiness, a lot of back and forth. And I should have listened and looked at those character traits saying, maybe this isn't a good idea to mix friendship and business. I should have known better. So part of that is 100% on me. Half of life is expectations, and my expectations and what he was really showing me in reality was discordant from each other. But it still hurt. What you guys can learn from this is when you're going into business together, is that now, if we're going to truly court someone and have these kind of conversations, in our basically letter of intent that we're going to hire and we're going to work together, I'm now including a non-solicitation clause. You're not going to reach out to my employees and try to steal them after I reach out to them and say, hey, yeah, you can talk to this employee in the north side of town. They'll tell you how happy or sad they are. Yeah, we're definitely going to include a non-solicitation clause going forward. I couldn't even imagine that would happen, let alone with a friend that I've had for 8 freaking years at this point, but it happened. And business is business. He's doing what he's going to do. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I seriously doubt that he'll ever get to the point of starting a practice since, like I said, I used to love him as a friend, but he can't continue to keep anything on track, meaning every single year it's a different job. Quitting something, moving on, the grass is always greener somewhere else. That type of personality usually doesn't do well when you're starting a business because you have to constantly grind at it all the time to make it profitable. So what can you learn from today's video? Well, you can learn that I'm a little pissed and a little hurt at the same time. Life is life and it'll go on. That's fine. This friend showed me his true colors. I do think that this friendship is totally over. I feel like it crossed the line. What do you think? Let me know below. Could you move past this, or would this totally be a deal breaker for you? I almost view this as like an infidelity of a friendship of like, dude, you totally went behind my back and you tried to poach my freaking employees. My employees that I spent so long trying to hire. If it was the big dog in town, the big guys, across the street, I get it. Business is business. They have no friendship with me. They have no relation to me, but we have an 8-year friendship. What would you have done? Would you confront this guy? I haven't even confronted him. I refuse to answer his phone calls or texts ever since this happened. Might be petty of me. I'm just not ready to talk. When you go into business, think about these things. When you open things behind closed doors, you can get screwed. There's a friend of mine who started up an online practice, and he basically got screwed out of someone who I consulted with him once or twice before. And he told me that his business partner ended up taking all the IP, basically the code of that website and everything, changed logos, started up his own thing, and just basically started a totally separate business, basically stole all the code and everything they paid for together, slapped his own logo on it, slapped a new brand on it, created a whole new website, and just traded that code from one website to another. And he was, of course, hurt and pissed off about that. Of course, they spent money together on that. That was not meant to start a separate business. When you enter into business with someone, especially if you were thinking of opening a practice together, you've got to know the person that you're opening the practice with. Think long and hard about your business partner. My business partner, I only have one. My business partner that works with me, we did everything wrong. We had no signed contracts, no nothing, but we were amazingly true to every single word that we put in there. And I tend to think that those contracts are not there for the good times. They're there for the bad times. Those are to help prevent you from getting destroyed, from someone stealing your IP, trying to solicit all of your doctors and start a competing group. The contracts are there to save your ass in the event that someone goes nuts, goes rogue, and goes into a totally different direction and tries to destroy the vision that you thought you had for your business. I'm going to keep growing. I'm going to open a clinic in the south side of town. For now, though, we've hit pause on that because we are courting 2 other doctors for the north side of town. We're going to open those. We're going to expand hours at all of our current locations. And then we're going to circle back to the south side of town. That's my current goal. That's what happened with this doctor. Try not to get burned like I did, but business is business, and there's always going to be bumps in the road. At least for this one, it didn't cost us any money. The doctors are loyal to me. They told me there's no way they want to work with him. They don't even like him. They told me that they were going to be loyal to us. They don't even like this doctor as another physician in town. They found him to be quote unquote lazy. So I don't think I have anything to worry about there. They're going to stay with me. The doctors that I hired, they just keep telling me how happy they are. I keep telling them how happy I am with them. Be careful out there in y'all's business relationships, guys. Don't go into it thinking you're going to get screwed, but really protect yourself in the event that the other person is maybe not being 100% truthful to their word. Remember, any business relationship is a relationship. And if you go into business together, it's like a marriage. You got to know who you're doing business with. All right, you guys, that's my story about the 8-year friendship that totally imploded and how they tried to steal all my doctors. I'll get back with y'all next week. I hope y'all have a good one. Thanks a lot for following along. See you next time.